나처럼 groovy하게 나처럼 groovy하게.
When SuperM was announced, they were promoted as the Avengers of K-pop, incorporating members from 3 of SM Entertainment's legendary boy groups. What's interesting to note is that each of these groups already have their own theorized storylines based on the music videos and concepts. So with the launch of this project, fans began to speculate. Could there be a larger connected storyline between SM's groups, perhaps like in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Today's theory video breaks down how SHINee, EXO, and NCT's universes may all be connected and attempts to answer the question, who is the true villain of the SM multiverse? Before I get into this video, I want to state that this is all completely speculation. This is just for fun and isn't meant to be taken too seriously. Let's start off by examining each group's individual storyline. So I actually have a separate video where I did a full breakdown of EXO's videos to piece together a storyline, but for the purposes of this video, I'm mostly going to summarize the basic plot laid out in their debut video, since I think it's the most relevant to this theory. EXO's Mama music video reveals the origin of the group. The members are all aliens hailing from Exoplanet. Here, each member was gifted with a specific power by the mystical Tree of Life. However, a force of evil called the Red Force was after their powers and sought to destroy the Tree of Life. To prevent this from happening, EXO's members created parallel universes, dividing the members into 2 subunits of 6, EXO-K and EXO-M, splitting the Tree of Life in 2. The video alludes that when an eclipse occurs, aligning the planets, the members will reunite, the Red Force will be purified, and a new world will open. Throughout several music videos, we see EXO's members in danger, or fighting against some sort of evil, but the thing is they don't really seem to be victorious in any of their videos. I think the reason for this is that the prophecy specifies that all of the original members must be present to stop the Red Force. However, 3 of the members officially left the group, and several others are currently unable to promote. For example, when they fight against the Red Force agent in power, Baekhyun ends up falling into the sea, or when they think they've escaped the maze and overdose, they find that they're still trapped in Lucky One. Despite having all these powers, EXO are doomed to fail in their mission to save the world. NCT's origin video shows the creation of their world from a desert of nothing. A boy is given a choice between different colors of chalk by a mysterious woman. He chooses the blue chalk and begins to draw his new world. The woman then disappears and flashes of Win-Win appear before the boy opens his eyes to see that the beach he drew is now in front of him. The second origin teaser shows Taeyong waking up, walking across a carpet with sand. The third teaser shows Win-Win in the present day, and at the end we see flashes of the boy and the woman appear in Win-Win's mind. This brings us to the NCT Mentary teasers, released prior to the NCT 2018 album. In this, we learned that the members of NCT participate in something called the Dream Lab, which pushes the limits of reality. The Dream Lab breaks down 5 steps, going from reality to the dream world and then back to the real world. The members describe how they are able to share memories and connect with one another in this dream world. This then influences their memories of reality and even has the potential to affect reality itself. From what I've gathered here, NCT's world seems to be some sort of mixture between the movies The Matrix and Inception. The movie Inception centers around a group of people trying to pull off a heist by stealing information through a person's mind when they are asleep. To do this, they create a series of dreamscapes, which would enable their victim to unknowingly reveal their subconsciousness, since their minds wouldn't be occupied trying to create a dream world of their own. Like in NCT's Dream Lab, there are layers to these dreams. Time moves slower the farther you travel down a dreamscape, and the more you travel, the more unstable the world becomes. Everyone in the team in Inception enters this dream world, allowing them to share memories and work together to manipulate their target and extort information. NCT's dream world seems to reflect this, as the members share how they can connect with each other through dreams and create new memories. In Inception, the way the team is able to tell if they are dreaming or are awake is through the use of totems. The most famous example is the spinning top. If the top keeps spinning, you're still in the dream world, but if it falls over, you're in reality. NCT Mentary alludes to this by showing spinning rings, which don't seem to fall over, and there's even a shot of this in NCT's teaser for their upcoming Residence album. I also have a separate video talking specifically about WayV's universe, but to summarize, I believe that WayV are time travelers who end up splitting off from the rest of NCT, and based on the shot at the end of Turn Back Time, I think they're going to figure out the truth about NCT's universe. The reason why I think they traveled in time is because in their video for Dream Launch, it showed the members finding a way to navigate through a wormhole, which is theorized to enable travel across the space-time continuum. In the future, they see that their world has been destroyed. This is where the Matrix part comes in. In the movie, the protagonist Neo finds out that he's been living in a simulation called the Matrix, designed to present humanity with a false sense of reality. When offered the choice between taking a blue pill, which would allow him to return to ignorance, and a red pill, which would enable him to uncover the unpleasant secrets of the Matrix, he chooses the red pill. We see the members of WayV being presented with a series of pills as well in Turn Back Time, but their decision is unknown as of now. In several of their videos, drones appear to be constructing their sense of reality, mimicking what's seen in the present day. However, in the final shot of Turn Back Time, we see that their reality is actually a dystopian city shrouded in darkness. Now, you may be wondering where SHINee fits into this picture. I don't specifically think that the entire group fits into the narrative, since I haven't found much evidence to back connections up, but I think Taemin specifically represents the villain figure within the storyline. The music video for Tell Me What to Do feels like a breaking point between him and the other members of SHINee, as his jealousy results in his decision to blow up a car with Minho inside. The video for Press Your Number parallels this, as Taemin fully commits to his life in crime. He uses a gun to rob a store appearing similar to the one he used in the other video, and once again sets the car on fire. In one shot, Taemin is pointing a gun at another version of himself. I think that this is indicative of his final decision to leave his past behind and chase after power and glory. As Taemin becomes more and more obsessed with his life of crime, it appears that he's no longer satisfied with what he's getting. Now that we have all this information, how exactly are these storylines connected? As I mentioned before, EXO created 2 parallel universes when they split the Tree of Life. Now, in pretty much every EXO music video since 2013, the members who stayed in EXO do actually seem to be on the same planet, just not totally united like the prophecy stated to be able to defeat the Red Force. We see this sort of showdown happening in Obsession, which results in the Earth being engulfed in flames, likely signifying that the Red Force has taken over this planet and that EXO lost. My guess is that from there, the members would have retreated back to the other universe to protect the other half of the tree and to prevent the Red Force from completely taking over. After the planet was destroyed, a new world order emerged, as shown in NCT's origin video. But this time, each factor surrounding the planet's conception would be carefully crafted by an architect. The boy choosing the blue chalk is symbolic of him choosing the blue pill, which means he would rather live in this fabricated world in ignorance, rather than challenge the system. This becomes the whole basis for NCT's world, a world in which the members are being manipulated and lose their sense of reality. I feel like Taemin is the one who orchestrated this destruction due to a couple hints within his music videos. The video for Want shows Taemin in front of a background which looks sort of like an eclipse. When the figures align, the snakes surrounding Taemin are destroyed, and we see flames emerging from the points where they meet. After this, a door emerges behind him, which I think is symbolic of the beginning of the formation of a new world. But Criminal bridges the connection between EXO and NCT storylines in a more overt manner. In one of the sets, Taemin looks like he's dancing over a world of fire, which reminds me of that shot at the end of Obsession. The music video shows him taking on this almost godlike appearance again, as he stands looking like he's tied to a cross. Behind him are broken statues, representing the destruction of the old world and hinting at the rise of a new universe based on his creation. Taemin is then shown looking at a series of cards, 3 of which have snakes, and one of which has an image of an hourglass. The shot was particularly interesting to me, as the very first shot of the origin video introducing NCT shows an hourglass in their barren world. There's a skeleton hand which picks this card out of the 4, meaning that Taemin wants to start over and establish his new world order. The other set he's shown dancing in shows a room with a grid and some sort of technology lining the walls on one side and speakers lining the side of the wall on the other. The set looks like some sort of control room and could serve as the beginning point for the creation of the Matrix. In NCT's interlude resonance teaser for their upcoming NCT 2020 album, the first shot shows a speaker, which reminds me of the room in Taemin's video. The second shot shows something being set on fire with a lighter, again seeming to mirror Taemin's actions in Tell Me What to Do and Press Your Number. Another interesting part in the criminal video is the shots showing Taemin hovering over a model of a maze. To me, this represents a connection to both EXO and to NCT. EXO's connection to the maze is literal. We see them being trapped in a maze in the music video for Overdose. The original ending to the Overdose music video was actually supposed to be different, with the maze trapping the members inside. This again contributes to the idea that EXO's members are destined to fail in the end, and the best they can do to prevent the Red Force from taking over is playing a game of defense to prevent them from seizing total control over the Tree of Life. There are also other subtle connections between Taemin's videos and EXO's. For example, we see a SWAT team holding Taemin down in the music video for Criminal, and we see a SWAT team busting the members of EXO and Lotto. We also see Taemin exchanging money for a briefcase full of blue roses in Press Your Number, and EXO's members rob a bank to fill their car with flowers in Love Shot, including blue roses. My guess is that Taemin is finding subtle ways to control the members of EXO, or control some sort of alter ego for EXO's members by incorporating events from his own life into their actions. NCT's connection to the maze is more abstract, as the world laid out by the Matrix and the use of dreamscapes essentially creates a maze of the mind, one which the members are trapped in until they find a way to escape back to reality. With the creation of NCT's Matrix, Taemin is able to create his new world and seize control of this half of the Tree of Life. The tree is able to subconsciously appear to the members of NCT. In one of the NCT Mentory videos, Mark specifically says, NCT's dreams are connected like branches on a tree, and multiple members of NCT are shown sitting on top of a tree. So with all that being said, why would Taemin even want to bring together this group of people if he's just trying to destroy them in the end? I think Taemin needs to keep them close in order to prevent them from rising up against him. In EXO's case, he needs the members to appear from hiding in order to destroy them once and for all. In NCT's case, he knows he can't hide the truth forever and must prevent the ones most likely to figuring out the truth from rising against him. Taemin is able to win the trust of the members over by presenting the truth about the Matrix to them, and then manipulates them into thinking they're fighting some source of evil, when in reality, the mastermind of the universe is alongside them. According to an article by Billboard, SuperM stands for Synergy, Master, and Matrix, so I don't think that the theory of them being trapped in an actual Matrix, where they share this sense of false reality, is unbelievable. Breaking down the member teasers, we know that Kai and Baekhyun have their powers since we see them using it, so I don't think it's a stretch to assume that this is a continuation from their storyline with EXO. Taeyong, Ten, and Lucas's teasers all have the common theme of facing multiple versions of themselves, which I think is some sort of evidence that the Matrix is playing tricks on them. Maybe seeing how alternate versions of EXO resulted in their downfall and obsession inspired Taemin to manipulate the Matrix so that the members of SuperM would have to face off against themselves. Mark's teaser seems to be the most connected to the Matrix theme, as he's shown spinning the red pill. This indicates that the members learned the truth about the Matrix and believe that they have been united to end it. All of the teasers showcase Taemin acting in some sort of controlling manner, indicating that he's the one who sent out the signal to the other members to recruit them. We also see him walking up some stairs to some sort of technology devices, which may be part of the simulation he controls or are used to signal the other members. Here, there are multiple versions of himself lying on the steps, indicating that his past selves are gone and that he is fully committed to seizing power at all costs. At the end of his teaser, he seems to defy gravity, indicating that he has control over his matrix and that he's basically capable of doing anything within it. In Jopping, we see the members re-entering the matrix from the original desert, as the world of drones creates the world around them. 100 and Tiger Inside continue this theme of traveling through the matrix. Finally, we arrive at SuperM's most recent release, 1, where the members literally sing, landing in the matrix, trying to break it. We see all the members attempt to resist the matrix in this video and break free. This, however, appears to fit right into Taemin's master plan. At the end of the video, flashes from the teasers appear, and then it cuts to Taemin presumably outside the matrix, observing some signal from his phone. Now, I'm not exactly sure why he wanted this to happen, but it's definitely clear that he has some sort of knowledge and authority which the other members don't. And since he seems content, they seem to be playing right into what he wants. So, could any other SM groups be connected to this theory? I believe it's possible, but I don't think the connections are as obvious if they are. I have a separate video where I discuss connections between EXO and Red Velvet's videos, which I'll link below in case you're interested in that. But as of now, I think the major focus of the storyline is going to stick between the groups mentioned here, and I'm really curious to see how this continues in the future. To summarize again, since I know this was a lot of information, EXO creates 2 parallel universes splitting something called the Tree of Life, which is the source of their power, into these 2 planets to prevent a force of evil from stealing their abilities. They lose to the Red Force in obsession, creating the destruction of one of the 2 worlds. Meanwhile, Taemin becomes obsessed with creating a new world of his own, and either decides to work with the Red Force or becomes the Red Force in order to bring about the change he wants within this world. After one of the planets is destroyed, he is able to create a matrix enabling him total control over his new world, with the half of the Tree of Life on this planet helping to serve as the basis of the power. This becomes the home for the NCT members, and is strictly regulated through the use of dreamscapes, making it difficult for anyone to reach reality. Taemin then creates SuperM when he realizes he needs to destroy his opponents to truly seize control of the full tree. So he reveals the truth about the Matrix to try to lead the other members on a wild goose chase to destroying some force of evil, letting down their guard in the process and making it easier for Taemin to take over. This is all, of course, completely speculation, but I would love to hear your thoughts on SuperM's universe. Do you have any theories about their storyline? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching.